Welcome to Labology. I'm Anthony Busciglio. I'm back. I'm healthy. I'm with Mike, the MadLab Iurato. What's up?
I wonder if that's caught on camera.
All right, man. I feel great after my vacation. I'm healthy. I'm good. I did make it back. I was in the car from Cabo in the fucking Uber on the way back, and I was watching the fights. I caught a couple of the prelim fights. I know you have a lot to talk about when it comes to this last weekend's card. But before that, if you're new here, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment on the video. Please, we appreciate the support. And also, come find us at the MadLab, We're the #1 in combat sports. We do DFS, weekly bets. We have a great community of people who love fights. We also do NASCAR. We got guys in the group always, bunch of degenerates gambling, having fun. They're playing golf DFS and wagering and baseball and hockey and darts. And, fucking billiards, cornhole. Who could spit furthest? Anything they could bet on, they bet on. Great group of guys. We love the guys in our community. We have an awesome Discord. Come check us out. We are going to have a pretty cool little giveaway.
We'll announce that at the end.
All right, for UFC 276. Right. So let's talk about last week's card. So I got home, Lab, and I got to watch the entire main card. I guess let's start with what I want to start with. I want your real opinion on Rachmanov. How do you think this kid's like legit? He destroyed Neil Magny. Not that Magny's been good his last couple times out anyway, but what do you really think? Because they're really high on this kid.
I think he's legit, but you got to remember, like Neil Magny is susceptible to be beaten by the path he was beaten on.
Yep.
And I love Neil Magny, but we said Neil Magny is a guy that either shows up or he doesn't show up. Like, there's no in between with him.
And he's old.
Like, look with Chiesa.
Yeah, same thing.
You know what I mean?
It was like watching that all over again almost.
It's either he's going to put that pace on you and you're not going to be able to catch back up to his pace, or he's not going to be able to catch the pace on you and you could do what you want with him. Neil Magny's a tough dude, bro. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a walk in the park. And
I think that was a good test for him, actually.
It was a good test, but, people are, like, labeling this guy as, like, the next thing again, like they always do. I'm not there yet. I think he's good. I think he's got potential. I think he's got upside. I think there's a mystique about him that we really don't know what his ceiling is, but I'm not there yet. Just like I wasn't there with Chimaev when everybody was fucking slating this guy as Jesus Christ. I'm not there yet. I got to see a little bit more.
You like the kid's composure. He's very calm.
Yeah,
right?
no.
He's not a talker.
I don't not like him.
I like his demeanor. He's very calm.
No, I don't not like him, but I'm not that guy that's gonna go in and say, he's next champion. Like every time something like this happens, they say this guy's the next champion, and then 70% of the time, they're derailed.
Yeah.
Really, unless you're like an Israel Adesanya or something like that, like real special. I haven't seen that like real special trait from him yet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but I think he's good. I think he's got a lot of upside. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table.
Yeah, that was good. Now, I didn't see the Frey fight.
That's
what started our night. So we had a bad night.
Well, we really didn't. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's call it the way it is. On paper, at the final,
we had a fucking horrible night. But what Mike's trying to say was,
he didn't even let me finish.
What Mike's trying to say that it wasn't our fault.
You didn't even let me finish.
I know what you were going to say.
No, I said on paper, if you look at it, if you take all the names away, yeah, we had a bad night. But at the end of the day, it came down to really one fight.
2 fights, right?
Well, no, really. No, but Frey was tied into 3 things.
That's what fucked everything up.
So, we had Frey by decision. We had Frey locked into 2 parlays. There was no way she lost that fight by decision.
See, I didn't see it.
There was no way. And so basically what happened was that was the swing. Would I take that same exact bet again? Yes. Then the other one that threw us off, because everything else was fine, was the main event, Gamrot Tsarkyuan. And I thought that was a closer fight.
Well, let's talk about the Frey thing before you go to it real quick, because I didn't see that fight. Because the way you were talking about it, and I went up in the Discord to look, it was like everybody couldn't fucking believe it. Like, it was completely ridiculous.
Let's put it this way. Halfway through the fight, you know me, like when I'm watching it with you, I'm like, dialed in. Like halfway through the fight, I was so confident that we were going to win that fight.
Yeah.
That I was like in my kitchen and I was looking at it from my kitchen. I was, getting food ready and stuff.
Like it was in the bag.
This is in the bag. We got this. Like once going into the third round, I was like, even if she blows this, it's in the bag. And I don't know what the fuck they were watching, bro. I really don't know what they were watching. I'd say at very, very worst, the very worst, 29-28, but I had it 30-27.
How the fuck? Was it a split?
It was a split decision, yeah.
Was Sal one of the judges? I'm not going to call him his last name, though. I'm going to call him Sal. I'm going to call the other one Bird.
I don't know if Sal was one of the judges, to be honest with you. I don't know. I could talk. I'll find out.
This judging thing, and it's so bad that MadLab actually made a separate video about the problem with MMA judging. Talked about Sal D'Amato and Adelaide Bird and what goes on here. I think you should be able to see it up in the corner right now. You could click and watch that video, and Lab has his take on it, because this has been a problem with boxing, but even more so with MMA as well. And it's just a fucking shame that it happens so much, and I feel like lately it's happening a lot.
So Sal D'Amato was one of the guys who got it right.
Figures.
He had it. He had it 29-28. Ron McCarthy had it 29-28 for Demopoulos, and Valel had it 30-27 for 30-27.
Meanwhile, you had it 30-27 for Frey.
I had it 30-27 for Frey. I said at the very worst 29-28, but dude, there's like zero justification for Demopoulos to have.
So why would they have? Was it a clinch thing? Was it a takedown with no advancing?
So now
why?
I don't go by media scorecards. I because these, like, just because they have this media, but I do look at it, because if the overall consensus are one way, like, they kind of saw the same thing.
Right.
There was only one person that had Demopoulos winning the fight in the media scorecards. Everyone else had it 29-28, 29-28, a couple 30-27s, guys from Sherdog and stuff like that. But there was only one person that had Demopoulos winning the fight in all media score. All the media.
How the fuck?
Yeah. So it was, it was terrible. But it is what it is. It is,
So then, the Tsarkyuan Gamrot fight. I watched that fight. I had it 4-1 Tsarkyuan, right? There's got to be something addressed when it comes to the takedowns, because if you take somebody down and he gets right up, what did you really do? You didn't cause any. Okay, if it's a takedown where you get picked up and slammed and inflicted damage, I get it.
Or control.
Bro, if you're standing up and I run under you and I fucking knock you down and you get right up, I didn't cause you any damage, and I didn't control you. Tsarkyuan literally got up within seconds almost every time. There was only 2 times in the fight where he had him for a little while.
Yeah, but but you got to remember, they also missed.
And they missed the fucking knockdown.
Right. So, but here's the thing. If you watch the fight, if you take scoring criteria away from the fight, just take it away. Make believe it doesn't even exist.
And just watch
Just 2 guys fighting. It was a close fight.
Yeah.
It was a close fight.
I get it.
But if you're going by criteria, if you're
sliding this way? Okay.
You're fucking me up.
That's all right. I want to hear it. 2 guys, I want to hear this. Because this is like I felt bad for the kid.
So if you take away the judging, take away everything, take away the scoring system, just 2 guys in a bar coming outside, going into a cage for 25 minutes, and they got to fight. It was a close fight.
Yeah.
But there's criteria for a reason. And the criteria is, and even though I don't really agree with the criteria fully, is damage trumps everything. The more damaging strikes, the more damaging offense was by Tsarkyuan.
By far.
So if that's going to be your criteria, I'm not arguing that it was a close fight. But if you're going by criteria had it at the very worst 3-2. And you can convince me 4-1. You could convince me 4-1.
I thought 4-1.
Yeah, you could convince me 4-1.
I'm not a fucking judge, but just I thought it was 4-1.
You could convince me,
because I was not taking anything with those takedowns.
No.
When you jump right.
Well, you have to a
little bit.
You have to give him credit, but the fact of the matter is, you take him down. You take his back. You put him in you get him in a couple submission attempts. You're fully controlling him and advancing position.
That only happened in the 4th round.
Yeah.
All the other takedowns.
Well, also the 4th round was the knockdown, was the spinning elbow. You know what I mean? So, if you're going by criteria, you got to stick to the fucking criteria. We're not going to get into all this right now because if you really want to learn about the judging, not the judging criteria, I don't go over that, but I go over the issue with judging, not only in MMA but in boxing, the corruption, the collusion, and just everything from the history of it all the way up into now. And what my thoughts on are how we can kind of fix it. So if you want to watch that video, click on the tab. You can watch the video. It's staying up. It's evergreen.
But I'll tell you one thing, though. What I was a little surprised was when you posted on Twitter and said, who do you think won the fight, Tsarkyuan or Gamrot? It was like 60-40.
Well, you got to remember, you're dealing with...
I thought it was going to be like 80-20. You're
dealing with all those people who bet Gamrot.
Okay, you're right. I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially on Twitter.
MMA Twitter is not...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
That's
like...
true. Very biased there.
Yeah. I mean, you go through some of these tweets and they're like, you got fucking robbed. The way they message these fighters and call them pieces of shit, and you're of course, if you win a bet,
yeah, I know,
you're going to come out. Now, listen, I'm not saying this because I picked Tsarkyuan to win the fight. I really believe he won the fight. They're like the Frey. I really believe she won the fight. There are bad spots I had in this fight. You know what I mean? They're on the card where I'll admit bad read on my part. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people were on Kelleher and stuff, and I saw no way that he was beating Batista. I don't even like him. Yeah. But there's situations.
Who expected Durden to do that to fucking buys?
Listen, that was a close fight. That was not a close fight with the way it panned out, but the way I was looking at it, yeah. The kid, he had something to prove. Durden seems like he kind of humbled himself a little bit. He's not such a loudmouth after what he said about China and stuff like that. So I'm not surprised at that.
Right.
But when it comes down to criteria, let's go back to that. When it comes down to criteria, if you lay a criteria out, you got to stick to the criteria. You can't say that Trump damages all, and then all of a sudden, but he did get 4 takedowns. What the fuck does that mean? What's more important to you? And it's the same thing what happened with the Cater fight.
See, I didn't see it. I was away. I missed the whole Cater.
Like, you could look at the Cater fight and you could say, Emmett threw the more heat and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the accumulation of damage on Emmett's face was ridiculous.
That's what I read.
Just from the jab. And I know they're not significant strikes, but if you tally up 4 solid, stiff fucking jabs to 1 loaded up punch, they kind of should equate to the same.
The fucking guy got a knockout with a jab.
You know what I mean?
Who was that on the card? Fucking got knocked out with a nice strong jab.
Yeah, I forget who it was.
But and you know what? The way the night was going, right before the thing, you said in the Discord, you were like, hey, this is going to go to the cards. So I put in the over 4.5.
On what fight?
On the Tsarkyuan fight.
Yeah.
I was like, I put it in real quick. I put a unit on him. Then I was like, the way this night's going, I might as well throw a unit on Gamrot. But I didn't. And I fucking should have, because the way the night was going with the judging, fucking A, man. But
I take the kid again.
Yeah.
I take Frey again. I take that kid again. If Frey wins that fight and Tsarkyuan won the fight, which they both should have, we're having a 4-unit night.
I know. Fucking crazy. So anyway, let's talk about Thrive. Went 3-0 on Thrive again. I know one of our guys on Discord hit nice, like $500 and won in a contest. We've been crushing Thrive, and our apologies for not keeping like the record and the weekly bets. We're going to do that, but
we actually do have it.
We just got to put it in there.
I'm saying we have it on the site. If they really, if they want it,
you could go back and look.
You can go back and
we'll go back and
look.
But
we're going to go back and we're going to calculate. But
if I were to guess, we're probably like 14-4, or 15-4 on the Thrive plays.
We swept again this week.
We swept it again, 3-0. If you guys haven't tried Thrive yet, you'll see in the description below the video. There's the link. Use our code. You get the match. You get the bonus. They're good guys too, and we've been doing great every fucking week. I was mad that I didn't put them in.
Yeah.
Because I was coming back from Cabo, and I forgot I put in the bets, but I didn't put in the Thrive plays. I'm playing every fucking week.
So what we do with Thrive is, and they're having a big contest this week, $100,000 guaranteed tournament. So if you guys get over to Thrive, use promo code MadLab. I'm telling you guys, I say this every week. There's always one play in there that it's almost like, and I know they don't do it on purpose, but I view it that way because it just glares at me. There's one give me in there every fucking week, and I find it every week. Found it last week, found it the week before, and it's always the one that it's not like I put 3 in, I give you guys 3 on this video, and I'm like, there's always one in there that I kind of monitor and I see, and to me it's always a gimme.
Which one do you think was the gimme on this one? Nurma?
The gimme was Manis under. He wasn't fucking knocking not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Under a half a knockdown.
Yeah.
But Nurman too was a great. The only one I was nervous about was Parisian in that covered. So we had Nurmagomedov over 1.5 takedowns.
Man, it's under half a knock. Of course he's not gonna.
So those two were equal give-me's to me. Like Nurma over a round and a half because over 1.5 takedowns because I knew Manis was tough and he was going to last.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part. Manis under, he would need to knock him down once with a shot.
Yeah.
Under. And then Parisian under 65.5. I just didn't see the volume, and that covered. So we hit all three. And we're hitting every week. So if you guys want all my plays, I read them all on the live stream, every single play. I put them in the thing. Come to the MadLabMMA.com. You subscribe there and get the rest there. We give you 3 here, but we give you all of them in on the site.
Hey, what do you think about Nurmagomedov anyway?
He's legit, dude.
Do you think he's legit?
Yeah.
Dude,
you know why?
He's got that kick.
He's got this. Yeah, he's got the question mark kick.
Wow.
It's one of the fastest question mark kicks I've seen in a long time.
Bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he throws that thing like speed. Yeah, dude, what a...
Yeah.
These kids, I mean, Nurmagomedov.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. This is what I mean about, like, the growth, like the evolution. You look at the evolution of MMA, right? You look at the evolution of where it's come. And then you look at somebody like Nurmagomedov, who, this is a younger kid. Yeah, he's Khabib's cousin and stuff, but he's got the grappling, and now you got a Nurmagomedov that has grappling and nasty strike, like that slick, nasty striking. It's just the evolution of the family now.
Yeah.
You know, so then...
He looks like he's like 19 years old, too.
He looks like a real young Habib.
Real young. Yeah. No, I like him.
Yeah, and then and that's what you have in Makhachev. The same thing. You have a guy who can grapple his ass off and can strike his ass off.
How come they still didn't make the fight, Makhachev and Chuck?
It's going to happen.
They have to.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
They have to. All right, now for our favorite new segment of the show. I'm looking forward because I don't know what he picked for the couch. What do we call it? The couch
Coach's Corner.
The couch Coach's Corner.
So basically what we do in this segment for guys that don't know.
You know, Romans put one out there for you.
I have it.
Yep. Oh, you took that one? That was a good one.
Yeah. Did I take Romans? Yeah, I did. So basically what it is it's not only guys I find that are trying to coach fighters after the thing. It could be a mixture of a really funny tweet that I saw. It could be a guy just talking nonsense in general, or it could be someone talking shit to a fighter. So I got a couple this week. This one comes from this one was the funny one. This comes from DJ012192. It was a couple days ago. Neil Magny. He looked like a beetle on its back out there.
I feel like we should be doing like a "come on, man" afterwards. We should be doing.
we got to get something.
Come on, man.
This one comes in. I almost don't know if this guy's trolling or not. It's like he has to be, unless it's ridiculous. So they were talking about. They gave the new rankings in a division, and this guy comes out.
Which division?
The Gamrot and Tsarkyuan. After that fight, they were
11 and 12.
Yeah, Gamrot posted the rankings.
Yeah.
So this guy goes, "It's crazy Conor McGregor isn't number 1 on this list right now." Listen, hold on. You see his shoulders? They're cannonballs, man. No, hold on. Listen. So another guy responds. He goes, "Crazy, perhaps. If there were a list about who has wider shoulders, he'd be number 1, but it's not. It's about who's a better fighter." He responds, "Not just wide, fully developed. He has obviously worked on the rears, the lateral delts, and front. 3D pop out. Honestly amazing. What a great mixed martial artist this man is. The best ever."
What the fuck is this guy talking
So
about?
I don't know if that's a troll.
It has to be a troll.
It has to be, right, dude?
Yeah.
That has to be a troll. Like, it has to be, dude.
No way that's serious.
This one comes in from a guy called Just a Baller, and he's tweeting this to Dana White and JP Buys.
Right.
This was kind of a dick tweet.
After Bice got fucking murked.
Yeah, so pretty much you're telling Dana White that you suck, but you'll try not to suck as much as you do so you don't get cut, right? You haven't won a single fight in the UFC. Hyped you and your ex-wife up so much,
Wow.
and she's the only one who's performed thus far. You're cut after today.
Wow. That's a fucking dick.
Yeah, I mean,
We gotta figure out how to get Bully beat down back.
That's a bull. That's
that's
a
a
bully
dick.
right there,
Yeah.
bro. How about you get in the fucking ring with him? That you get in the cage with him.
I mean, this when
These
you talk,
fucking guys work their whole lives to get an
you
opportunity.
know, one guy tweeted. One guy tweeted about Magny. He goes, the guy goes, why are you kicking this? You're kicking a man when he's down. He goes, He was down the whole fight. It's hard not to miss.
That's fucked up. Dude, that's fucked up with that JP bias. That's
Yeah, it was a dick one.
If you're a fighter and you read that shit, man, it's
gotta make you hot.
This was
especially after like coming out right out the cage.
This was a tweet that went out. I guess Adam Martin is a media guy, I guess, and he posted something about Curtis, and this guy responded. And now, mind you, this is where our transparency comes in because I'm gonna tell you why. Congratulations, Curtis ran away all night. Slightly better than Namajunas. Wouldn't be surprised if Papa Dana cuts him. Wants guys more interested in fighting and making highlights than defending takedowns. Now, that is such a fucking cold take because he defended like 20 takedowns.
Bro, he defended every takedown.
Every takedown.
From one of the best takedown.
No, best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy.
But still.
He did what he had to do. And I'm going to be honest with you. I picked Vieira in that fight. I thought Vieira, if he got him down, that's a cold take.
Read that again?
Congratulations, Curtis ran away all night. Slightly better than Namajunas. Shouldn't be surprised if Papa Dana cuts him. Wants more guys more interested in fighting and making highlights than defending takedowns. What else can he have done?
What fight was he even watching?
I mean, it was a boring fight.
Yeah,
but he did what he had to do to win.
By the middle of the second round, Curtis took over that fight and was out striking Vieira, and then he clearly won the third. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
And this is the last one. And this one comes.
Come on, man.
This one comes from a guy. This guy's fucking funny. SpongeBob SquarePix, who has about 100 followers. Now, one of our favorite people, Christine Showdown. We did the judging video, and she, posted it, and she wanted to get people to all come in one as, the MMA community to really like
help the cause.
And obviously, a lot of people won't. A lot of the other analysts and touts won't do it, because they, it is what it is. But this guy, I guess, was so butthurt that she didn't follow him back. That she said, "Can you check this out?" And
right.
For a good cause. That he retweets her. And he writes, should send her a pic of my cock and tell her to fucking. This I hate when people do that. Fucking rate it. This is the kind of shit that pisses me the fuck off. Don't ask for fucking favors if you're going to act like you're too good to give a follow back.
Oh my
Listen,
God,
unfollow.
bro.
This is 98.6% of fucking Twitter. They help me out. Get my follower count up. Like he's gonna get her follower count up with 100 with 100, right? Okay, sure, no problem. I'll retweet. And he retweeted a direct message from her. And you know what I mean? Saying watch this video, blah, blah, blah. So
wow,
that's
bro.
SpongeBob SquarePix, you fucking little piece of shit.
You fucking dork.
With your fucking with your fucking that went out with Elvis Presley's grandmother's cousin's fucking song list. You're still using Conor McGregor's fucking fucking.
Calling somebody a dork is top notch.
I mean, come on. I could say a lot fucking more, and I ain't gonna say it. But he's actually the fucking couch asshole of the week.
It's so funny. So we went to in Cabo. My son Dario got really, really tan. Right, he was laying out in the pool, and his string from his drawers, from his bathing suit, I guess was up a little bit. So his tan line, he had a little thing there because I guess the string was on his belly. So it was a little you know what I mean. So I was laughing at it, and it reminded me of Police Academy. Remember when in Police Academy when not Proctor, what was the guy's name?
Proctor, where is Proctor?
What was his name? The guy that says Proctor.
It was Lieutenant.
Yeah, what the fuck was his name?
What was his name?
Oh man, you know what I'm talking about.
Lieutenant Hauser?
No, Harris. Is it Harris?
Yeah,
Harris.
Harris.
And then when Harris falls asleep on the beach and they get the suntan lotion and they write,
yeah.
"Hey dork," with the lotion, and he's walking around, we're going, "Hey dork." It just says, "Hey dork." Was it his chest or his back?
It was his chest.
It was on his chest,
Yeah.
right? Hey dork.
And remember with the mirror? When he's like, "Oh, this looks good," and he's like, "Can I see? Give me the mirror." And he looks and he goes, "Proctor, my eyebrows."
Yeah, there he is. You gotta post that up.
that picture.
Hey, dork. I gotta get my kids to watch the old Police Academy.
They were great.
Hightower.
Yumma.
I did go on. I went on YouTube not too long ago, and I showed him a couple videos of the guy who made the noises.
Oh yeah, dude. You remember?
Michael,
Yo, dude, you gotta watch
forgot
when
it.
he's in. You gotta watch when he was
He was
in.
the best.
Dude, he
Yeah.
was in Cheech and Chong.
Yes,
When
yeah,
they're
yeah, Cheech and Chong,
when they're in the unemployment office.
Yeah.
Remember?
I love that guy.
And the
dude.
old drunk guys laughing all
man.
day.
Michael Winslow.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah,
Winslow,
yeah, he's
he
good,
was
dude.
Fucking hilarious, dude. Oh man, I'm gonna have my kids watch the old Police Academy.
Yeah, they were the best.
Fucking Mahoney's my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go into the preview of this awesome fucking card coming up, gotta plug us again. Like, subscribe, and comment, please. And come over to our website, the MadLab, MMA.com. Come join the community. Come try us out, especially for this big card. Like we always say, DFS full analysis, full breakdowns, podcast, detailing, breaking down every single fight, fighter analysis. We got stats, fighter metrics, weekly bets, the drive plays, the Discord. We all watch the fights together every Saturday night in Discord. And whether we're winning or losing, we're in there fucking bantering, having a good time. There's guys doing live bets. I mean, it's fucking great.
And
I
go
love
say
it.
hi to SpongeBob SquarePix while you're
Yeah,
at
go
it.
say hi to that fucking dork, SpongeBob SquarePix.
So wait, before we go, I did my good deed of the day.
What'd you do?
And I'm surprised that nobody here knows what it is. I'm curious to see if you know what it is. So I go to the same gas station every day,
The one over here?
the one in Irvine,
Okay.
by my house, right? And the same people are there. They know me by name. Hey, Mike, how you doing? They know exactly what I'm getting when I go in. And I was pumping my gas this morning, and the girl was out there pulling the trash out of the middle things, and she's like, "You're always smiling." And I was like, "Life's good, you know, this, that, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "How much does that cost to fill up?" She never talked to me like that, like about anything. So, you know, I was like, I don't usually fill it up. I usually put the same amount in. So at the end of the year when I do my taxes, I know what my gas is. She goes, "Oh, that's a good idea." She's like, "I just got one." And she points at this truck. And I was like, "That's not an Explorer." She's like, "No, but I'm saying I just bought a new truck." And I was like, "Oh, man, good for you." So as I was pulling away, I stopped my truck, and I had a dollar bill in there. And I got out of my truck, and I said, "Do you have your keys on you?" And she's like, "Yeah, why?" And I go, "Open your door." I was like, "This is an Italian thing from New Jersey."
They don't do that here.
So she's
Shocked, right?
bro. She was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like,
Right.
I said, "You can't spend this." I was like, the point of it is like everybody throws some money in your
It's
truck.
good luck.
It's good luck.
Yeah.
So I folded it up and I threw a dollar in the back seat of her car. And she's like, "Where do you do this? Italy?" And I was like. And I go, "No, we do it in New Jersey, but a lot of Italians do it. A lot of people in New Jersey do it." I was like, "It's just good luck. It's not like money for you to take out and spend." Nobody.
They don't do that here.
Never heard of that.
You never heard? It's a Jersey thing. It's an East
It
Coast
must
thing.
be a Jersey thing.
Well,
Well, he's from the East Coast.
When I first moved here, a guy in our neighborhood just got a new car, and I was like, "Hey, that's awesome." Let me see. And I had a whole bunch of change. With change, and I
Change is better.
I threw like a whole bunch of quarters. I had in my couple dollar bills. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, dude.
I'm
I
like,
would probably have that same reaction.
I'm like, "What do you
the
mean? It's
fuck?
good luck." He's like, "Good luck for what?" I'm like, "Your brand new car. You throw it."
Yeah.
He's like, "You throw money in a."
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, "That's what we do." Yeah.
She opened the doors like she thought I was going to go in and look at the interior. I just tossed it in.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "It's we do that in New Jersey."
Well, the
And
other
she's
thing
like,
that
"Really?"
we do too in Jersey, like if it's a good friend of yours, you take like a $10 or a $20
And you tie
bill,
it, and you put
right?
it up in the handle.
And like the handle inside the car, you tie it, and you tie. I have it in my car right
Yeah.
now. Bet yeah, and you tie.
Yeah.
You don't spend that. That's good luck. And then
Yeah.
in case one day you're on the side of the road, and you got no fucking
Yeah, that's what
money,
it's for.
You got your little $20
That's what it's for.
fucking thing over there. But it's total East Coast. They don't do that
I
here.
can't. But she was like shocked.
Shocked,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But I did a good deed.
I know. All right, UFC 276. This is an exciting card. I mean, the whole card, the prelims, the early prelims, the main card. The only fight we lost so far was the Tate Murphy fight. I really don't care that much. They rebooked it actually for I think sometime in
Long Island.
that's when they rebooked. Oh, for the Ortega
Yeah, it's
card.
in
That's
Long
good.
Island, yeah.
Oh, good. That'll make it a good card. But yeah, man, this is going to be a great card. We're going to cover 4 fights on this card. If we have time, maybe we'll cover another one. But we're going to start right off the bat with Sugar Sean O'Malley, Pedro Munhoz.
Wow, look at this fucking guy jumping around like a fucking like a beetle on
Are
his
you
back.
following the fucking
Yeah, I know.
format?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the first one on there?
Yeah, I shouldn't be, but all right.
This is called organization.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying to
This is what
organize.
happens when Bush isn't here.
All right,
So
I'm trying to
so
organize it, Juan.
this let's talk about this real quick before we jump. Since we're going on to this fight, we'll talk about it. So we're doing a giveaway
Yep.
for not for this fight, but we're doing often do giveaways with merchandise. A couple weeks ago, we did a full membership
Especially on
for the
pay-per-view
year
cards.
on pay-per-view cards. So for what we're doing for this fight, and Quan will put the image up, is we're going to have a DK contest for our members. And basically, what it is, it's certificate authenticity from Beckett, and it's a signed Sean O'Malley 8x10. You'll see a picture of
It's
it
a really
right now.
nice one, too.
Yeah, it's really nice. So we're going to be doing that. Whoever takes first on DraftKings, to be eligible for it, you want to be a member. You have to be a member. If you want to be a member, go to the MadLabMMA.com, sign up. You'll automatically be eligible for it, and then you just got to enter the DraftKings contest.
Yeah, Air Force One will post the He already made the contest. You go in there, it's free. First place is going to get the signed Sean O'Malley.
And I never enter those things when the subs are in it because I want them to win.
I always enter, but I never finish first. Not that I would. Oh yeah.
This week I'm entering.
They're going to take you out, bro.
This week I'm entering.
So this is an interesting fight. So, well, the more I look at it, the more I think it's not as big of a deal as I thought it was originally. So everybody knows that O'Malley's been he's one of the poster boys for the UFC. They've been walking him little by little. He's making a lot of money. By the way, he recently signed a new contract, undisclosed terms. I don't know. I'm the UFC starting to give big money contracts to those guys like this. They gave Masvidal a big contract. Apparently they gave this kid a big contract, but they're always undisclosed amounts that they probably don't want the other fighters to see. And O'Malley's crushing it outside of the UFC.
Well, he wants to make it, bro. He said his goal is to get to a point where he's making $1 million a fight.
Yeah, and I actually read that.
Yeah.
He's making a lot of sponsorship money. Anyway, they've been walking him. So this is definitely his toughest test to date. Actually, no. Because he did fight Chito Vera. We know what happened there. And I think Chito Vera is better than Munhoz. But that happened back then, and he hurt his foot, and he's saying he never lost a fight. Listen, you fucking did lose the fight.
He was losing the fight.
You were losing the fight, and then it broke, and then he finished you, so you did lose the fight. But whatever, maybe that'll happen.
Well, we're judging today. Who fucking...
Oh, my God. Maybe that rematch will happen again, right? Munhoz is a tough motherfucker, right? But once I started looking, I didn't realize he lost 4 of his last 5 fights. I know he's super durable. He's never been knocked out before. And the fights that he has lost, it's not like he got murked either. Like, he was in almost all those fights. I mean, they were all close fights. He lost to Aldo. He lost to Cruz. He lost to really top-level guys. So, yeah, this is one of the tougher fights. The toughest fight, one of the toughest fights that he's faced so far. But is it, or is this a matchup made for O'Malley? Like, if you look at the top 10, right, in his division, right, this is probably the best matchup for him.
Well, this is his first top 10 matchup.
But if you look at the rest of the top 10,
Oh,
you
yeah.
really look at it, everybody else is a tougher matchup than Munhoz is for him. He's got the reach, he's got the speed, he's got the height. Like, I know Munhoz is tough, but is it really that tough of a matchup for O'Malley?
It's tough.
It's tough.
This is a real test.
What shocked me, and then I'll let you have your take on it, is when I watched a couple of videos about, they do a lot of videos about who the pros think is going to win. A lot of pros are picking Pedro Munhoz. Now, is that a respect thing, or is that like a hate thing because they're hating on O'Malley because he's making a lot of money? Because the more I talk to you about it,
Yeah, you can't go by that though, because you got to remember
Bias,
that there's
the
a lot of
camps, the
bias.
friends.
You don't listen. I never listen to fighters when they talk about.
right, they're
when
friends
they,
with him, so they're going to say him. They don't want them to see that he said the other guy. I get it.
Yeah, I don't listen to fighters. That's such an off. There's bias involved. There's also certain people don't want Sean O'Malley to win because they don't like him. Certain people don't want him to win because maybe they think that if Pedro wins, it's an easier matchup for them. So there's a lot involved. I never go when the pros talk about it. I never listen really to what they say.
I like O'Malley by decision in this fight. I think minus 260 is a little steep. I think it should be more like minus 160, 170. I think he's the rightful favorite because he's the hot commodity. 9,300 is a little steep too if he wins by decision. But I mean, last fight he won by knockout. That fight against Motino, his volume output was fucking ridiculous. So even with a decision, he might bust on 93. So do I think it's a little high? Yeah, but I think he still could cover. I like O'Malley by decision.
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at this in a couple ways, guys. You got to look at it's not always about who the better fighter is, and it's about matchups. Styles make fights. That's basically what it is. And then after the stylistic matchup is made and they make the matchup, you got to remember that there's a business involved here. Now, if you're looking at someone like Ian Gary, or you're looking at somebody like some of these new guys coming in that, wow, they just shock somebody, and like Chaos Williams, for instance. There was no
fucking hate it.
Well, there was no money behind him.
Nothing.
He came in and he had some knockouts, and the mystique was born.
Yeah.
This guy, you got to remember, when he came into the UFC, he's never, since he entered after the Contender Series, he's never been on the prelims. He's always been on the main card.
Right away.
Right away. He's never fought off the prelims. He's always been on the main card. He's a character, and what I mean, not by funny character. I mean that if you remember, like, we don't have characters in MMA anymore, and it's very, very important. Colby Covington's a character. You love him or hate him, he's a character. Masvidal kind of, sort of has that Street Fighter character. Love him or hate him. But there's a lot of fighters out there who are just kind of stoic. They fight, and I like that. Like Damian Maia, guys like that who just come in, they fight, they win, and they leave.
The respect factor.
They're respectful, yeah. But there's something to be said about the marketing of a character.
That WWF, like, bad guy.
Yeah.
I know.
Like Chael Sonnen.
You call Connor a character?
Absolutely.
Like Connor was
1,000%.
Yeah, exactly.
1,000%. So, like, there's something to be said about that character. Now, he's got longevity kind of in this game right now because he's got, a bunch of fights under his belt, even though they weren't stiff competition. But they're investing money in him, So there's long-term investment in O'Malley right now that if he loses this fight, it's more devastating than people think, because if he loses this fight, they're not only going to say, well, he was eventually going to lose, because a lot of people aren't counting the Vera fight. They're not.
It's fucking ridiculous.
So they're saying that he's eventually going to lose. But what they're not seeing is, what you should be saying is, he lost his first fight, but he lost his first fight cracking the top 10. So can he really fight these top 10 guys? That's the question mark that should be laid out. But when you look at it in a whole, you're looking at a guy, exactly what you said. I don't need to repeat that. He fought a murderer's row of people, but at the end of the day, he still lost 4 of his last 5. He beat Jimmy Rivera, who's not in the UFC anymore. And stylistically, they matched up perfect here. They're both durable, both can throw, both have good. But if you look at this fight, you're looking at Sean O'Malley's going to have a 7-inch reach advantage on him. Now, that's not it. 7-inch reach advantage on him. And if you want to look at numbers here, O'Malley's throwing over 8 strikes per minute. He's only getting hit 3 times per minute. You're looking at Munhoz is throwing a little under 6, and he's getting hit over 6. So he's taking more punishment from strikes than he's actually throwing. And he's got to deal with a switch fighter. So he's going to be switching stances and stuff like that. So his path to victory here, and he does have a path. His path to victory is the guy's got nasty fucking kicks.
That's where if it's early in the first round and he peppers him a couple times with the leg, that's going to change the whole tempo of the fight.
Yeah, he's going to have to go in, and but here's the thing. It's the length. He still has to work his way in to get those kicks going. Yep. I know your arms are longer than your legs are longer than your arms.
O'Malley's not flat.
But he's not flat. He's always moving laterally. Yeah. He's always moving around. And if you look at, the takedowns of Munhoz, I mean, he's averaging like the same as O'Malley, like a half a takedown a fight.
Isn't he high-level jiu-jitsu, though?
World class.
I know that, but he just doesn't use it.
Because you got to understand, being a Brazilian jiu-jitsu player is one thing. Being a wrestler that can get it to the ground is a completely different thing. Look at Rodolfo Vieira.
Same thing, right. High-level jiu-jitsu.
High-level jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling isn't there. He doesn't have those tricks. Yeah. Aljo is a high pedigree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, but he's got wrestling. He understands those inside trips and stuff like that. Right. Munhoz is good, but Munhoz needs like that situation to knock you down, jump your back, standing guillotine. He's got a nasty guillotine. He's got nasty leg kicks. So who's to say that O'Malley's ankle doesn't give out? And if his ankle gives out, then they just got to start facing this kid is injury riddled and there's a problem. But this is a fight that the UFC wants this kid to win. I think Munhoz didn't have his time. But he kind of did. Like, he's fought the elite guys. He's lost to the elite guys. Now it's time to give this kid a step up and see where he goes. And I really do think there is a possibility that he knocks Munhoz out. Because here's the thing.
I don't think he knocks him out.
I'm not saying he's going to, but I'm saying there's a possibility, because the only way Munhoz is going to have a chance in this fight is he's got to storm the pocket, trust his durability, and say, I'm willing to eat 2 or 3 to land that one shot. And if he does that, because it's the only way he's going to get in the pocket and trade with O'Malley, he's got to make it dirty. It's going to be like Ali versus Frazier in a way. He's got to get in there, and he's got to fucking start throwing, and he's got to get in on his hips, and all that is going to
take chances.
You're going to have to take chances. So I think there is a possibility where O'Malley does catch him. But
I tell you what, if he does knock him out,
forget it. The fucking
Everybody's gonna go nuts.
Dude, if O'Malley knocks him out, that thing that you guys are gunning for on DraftKings is going to triple in value.
Yeah, if he not the first person to knock him, everybody knows how tough he is. Like that would be big for O'Malley.
Yeah, so I'm on your side though. I'm going O'Malley by decision, but I think this would be. I mean, on Monday morning when they go into the office, if O'Malley lost this fight, it's going to be a cemetery in there.
Yo, yeah, they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
they're gonna be pissed.
That's my honest opinion. But
a lot behind this.
Got
one.
my money, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can't knock out the golden boy.
You know, he is kind of the golden boy, dude.
He is.
You know, so
he's one of them.
Yeah, he's one of them. But so yeah, I'm with you. I'm going him by decision, but I'm not discounting him being the first guy to possibly knock him out.
Love to see it. I can't fucking wait. Now, next fight, and this actually another.
Wait,
very
we got to
similar.
talk about DraftKings.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. 93. I told you my take on DraftKings. I mean, you know, I just don't see Munhoz winning the fight. I think O'Malley, even by decision. I think there's value on.
I think there's value on Munhoz at 6,900.
Sure, of course.
A punt play. You got to always look anything in that 7K.
Plug him in one or two if you're one lineup, two if you're playing 10, 12 lineups. But I even think that at 9,300 on a decision, I think O'Malley with the volume is gonna.
That's a rough play too, though.
It's close.
That's a rough play. It's 3 rounds. You know, you don't know what he's going to do. He might just use his movement and stab at him, just to get enough, you know, going.
He's got some of the best feints in the whole fucking.
Oh, dude, he's accurate as hell, but
fucking accurate.
Yeah, I mean, they're both playable, but I wouldn't consider them the best plays on the card. Let's put it that way.
I 100%.
And the line is to me is a no play. I'm not laying 260 on O'Malley.
I would maybe think about O'Malley by decision. What's that? Probably about minus 120. I bet you.
Yeah, you could look at props for that, but I mean, and if you're really confident in them, you could tie them into a parlay and stuff like that. But minus 260, that's not a line you guys want to bet. And Munhoz at plus 220, I saw justification in it, but you got to go with that narrative that you're going against the business.
Yep.
You're going against the machine.
100%.
All right.
Now, similar narrative here, similar thing with the business here is this Pereira Sean Strickland fight, right? Pereira's unranked, right? I was listening about it. It's unranked. Strickland's ranked number 4, right? Usually guys that are ranked that high do not want to fight guys below them. Never mind an unranked guy, all right? But Sean Strickland will fight fucking anybody. I don't think he really fucking cares. I don't even think he thinks twice about it. Where every other fighter would probably be like arguing about not wanting to fight a guy that low, fight me a ranked guy that's going to do nothing for me. Because at the end of the day, this doesn't do, I'm not going to say it doesn't do a lot for him if he wins Strickland, but.
No, it does a lot for him.
Yeah, I guess it does because Pereira's.
Because if you're going to fight an unranked fighter, this is the guy you want to fight.
So this guy's coming in, if you guys don't know, he was a Muay Thai champion. He's the only guy who knocked out Israel Adesanya twice.
No. He beat him by decision.
Right.
And then he knocked him out. But when he knocked him out,
he knocked him the fuck out.
They put him on oxygen in the ring.
Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out. You could keep watching on YouTube. It didn't even look like that hard of a shot.
No, it wasn't.
We've watched it many times.
Yeah.
So, so what do you think the UFC wants to do? This guy comes in. He's only fought twice so far. He's only had 6 MMA fights in his life.
5-1, yep.
5-1, okay? And they fast-tracked him, right? And Dana White even said today, and I sent it to Mike earlier today, they asked him, if Pereira wins this fight, does he get a title shot against Adesanya? He's like, yeah, that makes the most sense. The guy's unranked, okay? Sure, I know he beat Adesanya, but, this is total business talk here, right?
100,000.
100%. So the UFC wants Pereira to win this fight, and they want to do this Pereira Adesanya, the only man to beat him twice, blah, blah, blah. But it's a pretty even fight, minus 20, plus 100. I love Sean Strickland. I just love his style. He's a fighter. The guy's known to just fight and scrap in the gym. That's all he does is spar and fight. He's got decent grappling, but he's just a striker by nature. I love the guy, and I don't think Pereira is that good of an MMA. He's got no ground game. So the only thing that worries me is Strickland going to be smart and try to take it at least to the ground a couple times, or is he going to have that ego, pride thing and keep it on the feet where Pereira's dangerous? He does have those crazy knees, from Muay Thai and kickboxing, and even in the last fight, he won by a flying knee. And if it stays standing on the feet, I'm concerned. But I like Strickland in this fight. I'm probably going to put a bet on him. Me and Jason, the Mass Marauder from our group, we're big Strickland fans. So he hit me up last night. He said, Bush, he said, how many mortgage payments we laying on Strickland?
I saw that.
We're laying on Strickland.
I
said, oh, man, I'm a little concerned, but I got to lay some wood on him. I like Strickland a lot. I'm picking him to win this fight. But if it stays standing, I am concerned.
This is why I'm not concerned as much as I was when the last time we talked. And I don't even think this is new that I'm going to tell you. Well, I think I did tell you this, but so when you guys I don't only like to break down the fights. We talk about the business end of it because it's important. It matters. It's almost like the game of pool. They like to know what their next shot is going to be. You're not just playing pool and going for the side pocket. Like, you got to set it up and say, all right, well, if we set this up and they win, what's our next shot? So it's a very, very strategic business model that they have. This is a fight where they're looking at it this way. This is a win-win situation for us. Okay? On one
for the
end,
UFC.
Yes. I'm speaking in UFC terms. On one end, we got a guy, Alex Pieta, who now, if he ends up winning this fight, we're going to market the shit out of this. We're going to put the clips of Izzy getting knocked out. We're going to put the clips on him on oxygen. We're going to, say, the decision. He's beat him twice. He's coming to get his claim what's his.
One of the most devastating kickboxers of all time.
And then, Izzy's going to sit there and he's going to do his, Matrix thing. I'm a new man. I'm a different guy. You got lucky, or whatever the case may be. Marketing, the money-wise on that side will be more than the Strickland side, 1,000%.
Sure.
People will be more interested in seeing that because there is something to be said about, is he going to be nervous in that fight? Is he going to be like, maybe this guy does have my number? That's the way they're going to market it. Does this guy have his number? But on the other end, if he loses and Strickland wins, they're not losing much because they have a great trash talker in Sean Strickland, who's a nut job, who people are starting to adore now because of that.
They already like
him.
him.
Another trash talker in Izzy that the build-up for that would be great too.
Yeah, I think so.
So at the end of the day, it's really not a lose for them. There's a win on both sides. There's a much bigger win for Alex.
Much bigger win, but put out a winning though.
Right. That's what I mean. There's a much more money grab there.
Sure.
But the flip side of it, Sean Strickland is going to bring in money in that fight too. He will bring it big just for the build-up of that fight alone. But if you look at the fight itself, you got to be smart about it, right? Like, you could sit here and you could say Alex Pieta is going to win because the business end of it says so. And that's really what, I'm sure they, in their heart of hearts, silently they do want, even though it's not a bad thing to have Strickland win. But you got a guy who's 5-1 in MMA who he's a striker with nothing else. That's basically what he is. I don't give a shit if people say, he's working on his wrestling, working on his grappling. It takes time for that.
Years
and you got a guy, Sean Strickland, who's 25-3. I mean, they're just the who's on a tear right now. Hermanson, Hall, Jocko, Allen, Marshman, and doing it well, talking to him, trash talking him in the cage, doing this. Can you imagine?
He's having a great time in there.
Having a great time doing it.
He loves to fight.
Yeah, he loves to fight. The guy loves to fight. And he already said, listen, I'm not an idiot. He goes, I like to do the man dance. I don't like grappling. I don't like wrestling. But at the end of the day, if that guy touches me and I feel it, I'm taking him down.
Yeah, good.
You know what I mean?
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, so, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't, you can go along with this whole narrative and pick Alex Pereira and just hope that it happens.
Everybody is.
A lot of people are. But at the end of the day, the smart pick is Sean Strickland because you're getting a guy that you know what he is, you know what he's capable of, you know that, wherever he is right now, he may have a bigger ceiling, but even if he doesn't, you know how good he is, how talented he is, how durable he is. You know nothing about this guy.
Nope.
You know nothing. You don't know how many. I mean, when he fought Bruno Silva took it to him a little bit.
He did. He rocked him.
He took it to him a little bit.
He did.
You know what I mean? So.
And he caught him with the knee.
And he is not Strickland.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So, to me, it's an uneducated, foolish pick. It's a hope and a prayer pick if you're picking Alex Pereira.
Hype pick.
A hype pick, and I think Strickland should be a heavier favorite here. To be honest,
I'll take him at plus 100 right now.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you right now that that's one bet I will say that I'm putting in, and I put it in already. Is I put Sean Strickland on. We got him in at, I think, plus 110.
Yep. Love it.
So
I plugged him right
that's
in.
a bet that you guys can have.
Let's go.
You know,
Let's go, Jason Oder.
I don't see how on DraftKings and on the line that Strickland should be a dog here. It's like completely disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know?
At least a little bit. Minus
Yeah.
130. Something.
Yeah, so 7,900,
Hype.
and I like it. And I think I honestly think there could be a finish in this fight.
Yep.
I mean,
Love it.
obviously we know Pereira can knock him out.
Yep.
You know.
What do you think? I think the DraftKings 7,900 for Strickland.
That,
Nice.
yeah, of course.
I mean, 83.
The only thing with
very
listen, the only thing with Strickland, guys, and this is another thing I want to bring up. This is what makes him so difficult to fight. You know this. You may know this if you watch boxing for a while. A lot of people who don't know boxing don't know what this is, but look it up. He's the only guy in the UFC, in MMA, that I've seen in a long time that does something called the Philly shell.
Yep.
The only guy to ever crack the Philly shell was Julio Cesar Chavez. Roger Mayweather.
Yep.
He was the only one that really was able to crack it. And it may look like there's a defensive deficiency there because what he does is he's got his head back, he's got his shoulder up, he's got his hands down. But the reason why he does that is because when you're throwing punches, from the sweat in the glove, you're actually slipping off. You're not getting clean shots on him.
Mayweather.
Is that what Mayweather does?
That's
Yeah.
what Mayweather
Shoulder
does. It's
down.
called
Shoulder roll.
It's called, but they call it the Philly shell.
Yeah.
And the Mayweather's never invented that.
Yeah.
That was invented by somebody else. Mayweather took it. Sweet people know. Whitaker did it. Like all the best defensive boxers of all time used the Philly shell. It's very hard to crack. Chavez was the only guy to crack it. He doesn't do it great. He doesn't do it like them. But he's got the idea, and he uses the Philly shell, and it's a very hard style to pin down. And that's where I think Pereira's going to have the problem, cracking the Philly shell. He might crack it too late. He might start catching on to it too late. And that's the problem. So
Watch the knees. That's the only thing I'm worried about is the knees.
yeah.
Avoid the knees.
But watch his
Got some
tape.
nasty
Watch
knees.
Strickland's tape, and you'll see what I mean. He leans back. It looks like a defensive deficiency, but it's not. He uses something called the Philly shell.
Love it. Now, on to my favorite fighter tonight. The blessed Max Holloway against Alexander the Great Volkanovski. I've been waiting for this trilogy. I've been waiting for this fight. If these guys fought 10 times, I'd pay 10 times in a row to fucking watch it.
What a great fight.
What a great fight. Holloway coming in at a disrespectful plus 170. One of
How?
maybe the greatest featherweights of all time, right? He's the only time he's lost at featherweight was to Volkanovski twice, and then back, I think, when we fought McGregor back in 2014.
Yeah,
but that was back,
He didn't even have hair on his
and he's only 30 years old, which you reminded me a couple times this week because you feel like he's 36 or 37
he's
because
been-
of how long
yeah.
he's been fighting for. But, bro, this guy's on a roll. The output is insane. Volkanovski, and look, I'm not at all taking away anything from Volkanovski because that guy's a fucking savage, okay? But I do think at minus 195, people are looking at the performance against Korean Zombie a little too hard. Zombie's way on the wrong side of it. He might even fight one more time and retire, right? So I know it was complete domination, but Zombie's not the same Zombie he was. Now the Brian Ortega fight.
That's where I gained all my respect for him.
The Ortega fight, the guillotine, the triangle, the adversity, that was championship metal right there. So, and I love Volkanovski too. I love both these guys. I do. I think this guy's a fucking true champion. I do. But that last fight, that last Holloway-Volkanovski fight, I had it 3-2 Holloway. First 2 rounds, clearly, I don't know why Holloway took his foot off the gas because he was crushing him those first 2 rounds. I think Holloway has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to show that he is the best boxer in the UFC. He had that amazing performance against Cater. I think Holloway's going to win the trilogy. I think at plus 170, you're nuts to not put something on it. I think at 7,200, probably going to be one of the highest owned guys on the card in DraftKings. I like Holloway. Again, not taking anything away from Volkanovski. The guy's a fucking savage. He really fucking is. He's won 22 or 20 in a row, whatever it is. I just think that people are forgetting how great Max Holloway really is.
Almost like they did with Whitaker, remember?
Same thing with Whitaker. Same thing with another fight similar that happened that people forgot about. And I'm not saying it's going to be a landslide. I think it's going to be a very, very close fight. But I like Max Holloway.
So I got a couple of things. I'm gonna. This is when we spend a little time on this one.
Go ahead.
So this is what I want. These are things like I want to throw at you guys because I want you guys. Listen, when we talk about fights, it's not all about breaking them down and who I think is going to do this. I want you to peel the layers back. That's the most important thing. You got to peel the layers back on certain things and figure out why are they doing it, why are the lines this way, and why are people's headspace where they are. First of all, how many trilogies are made that deserve to be made? Not many.
Especially after losing the first two.
Well, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Right? Trilogies, you don't see them every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but when you do see them, you see them why? Because it's 1-1. They need to have the tiebreaker. Bolgalad, Holyfield, Gaddy Ward. Those are trilogy fights. Marco Pereira versus Morales. 1-1.
Canelo Triple G.
Canelo Triple G, right.
What's the greatest MMA trilogy?
I don't know. I would have to think about that.
The greatest MMA trilogy?
It might be this one coming up.
This might be this one coming up, bro.
It might be this one coming up. These were some good fights. I mean, there's a few. I would have to really look at it.
When you talk boxing, you talk Pereira Morales and Vasquez Marquez.
That's my favorite one.
Pereira Morales? Yeah. Yo, bro.
I got a list here. I got it real quick.
Got
Silva Jackson, Liddell Couture, GSP Matt Hughes, Nogueira Emiliano.
Fedor, yeah.
Yeah, Fedor. And then Shamrock Ortiz.
Here's the thing with Shamrock Ortiz. Shamrock Ortiz wasn't a good trilogy in any way, shape, or form.
It was just probably young.
No. It wasn't good. It was the fights themselves weren't good.
Yeah.
What made it good was the build-up. They hated each other.
Ortiz, the way he talked.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Ortiz, he knew how to get under Shamrock's skin and stuff like that. But if you're talking about sheer war, like a sheer violence in a trilogy, I would really have to look at it. But this is. But here's the thing. So when you look at a trilogy, that's what you look at. It's basically the tiebreaker. They have to be two good fights. You have to want to see them again. It's tiebreaker. There's a reason why this is happening as a trilogy because the UFC knows, the fighters know. I don't give a shit what Volkanovski says. Holloway knows, and the fans know that this is 1-1. He lost that fight. Holloway won that fight.
I thought so.
There's also an argument in the other fight. People make arguments. You can make an argument for that fight.
The first one?
Yes. You can make an argument. I'm not saying it was the wrong decision, but you can make an argument.
I thought Volkanovski did win the first one. I thought Holloway won the second.
But you can't make an argument?
No, you can't. Especially with the way judges are now. I mean,
right. So
even Dana White thought Holloway won that fight. Even Matt Serra thought
Dana White and Dana White and Serra thought it was 4-1 Holloway.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say 3-2 would be a little bit more realistic, but 4-1, you can get me to believe it if I watched it. I would have to really dial in on it. But so when you're looking at that, you got to put your mind frame there. Why are they doing this? It's 2-0. Usually Dana White says, we don't need to see that again. They're doing it because they know in their heart of hearts that this fight is 1-1, and that's it. So they got to have this rematch because Volkanovski has to have it to prove himself, and Holloway needs it because Holloway deserves it. Look how much he's done for the sport. So that's why you get in this trilogy. So now when you look at this fight, you're looking at a 1-1 fight. That was a close fight, the first fight when they gave it to Volkanovski, and the second fight, I had it for Holloway, so did everyone else. And you're laying him at -1, you're laying him at plus 170, which is saying that Vegas aren't factoring these variables in.
Yep.
If you want to be fair about it, this really should be maybe a -110, plus 100.
They're looking at Volkanovski's last performance against Korean Zombie and Ortega.
Okay.
Both of those.
So then, if you want to really dive down a rabbit hole, you could say, what was the one fight that really impressed you about Volkanovski? Really impressed? Like you were just turned and said, "This. I'm convinced."
I think the Ortega fight for me.
What did Max Holloway do to Ortega?
Destruction.
He could almost sent him into retirement that fight.
I remember he actually looked fucking deformed.
He could have sent him into retirement that fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So really think about that.
That's a great point right there.
You know what I mean? He literally could have sent him into retirement that fight. So now forget about that. I don't like going back that far, but I'm just bringing it up as a point. So that's just another thing in his favor. Then after he loses to Volkanovski, which I believe he won, he beat Volkanovski, he comes back, he fights Calvin Kattar, he lands 445 significant strikes.
The same Calvin Kattar that decimates Giga Chikadze.
Yeah.
6 months later, who was one of the top prospects.
Right. Then he comes back and he fights Yair Rodriguez and he lands 230.
Yeah.
Significant strikes. So you guys got to put all that into play. Now, I know Volkanovski got better, and I know that he's coming from a great camp. I mean, he's got champions there, the City Kickboxing. I get it. I get all that. But what makes you think Max Holloway's not getting better? This is a guy who's got an 85% takedown defense as well. Like, it's not easy to take Max Holloway down.
Nope.
And when you do take him down, he gets back up. So the way I'm looking at this fight going, I just think there's clear value on Holloway, and I think people are discounting on how good he is because we've seen him for so long, but he's still only 30 years old. This guy's still back about a year ago. People thought he was punchy. Remember, the interviews were coming out. They were saying he's fucking punchy. Well, he answered those questions real quick. This is a guy who is a special talent. He fights long. He fights rangy. He doesn't get tired. I think he wins this fight, man. I think he's getting the belt back. And I think he wins this fight.
I like it.
I think he wins this fight.
And I like Volkanovski. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't root against him. I do. I think he's a great fucking champion. I love watching his YouTube cooking with
then
you watch those YouTube?
Yeah.
He's a big steak guy too.
Yeah.
He went to Luger's and I love him. I just really think this is going to be Holloway's fight.
But then you got to wonder this: like, if Holloway does win this fight, what happens to Volkanovski then?
They might fight again.
You know what I mean? Like,
they might fight
about
again.
that again.
They might fight again.
Think about that. Like, what happens then? Like, does he have to, go back to the drawing board and fight a couple guys before?
I don't think so, because the division is not that stacked right now where they might even fight again.
But how about this, though? This is another thing you guys got to understand. The hardest thing to do, people think, like, oh, my God, like, they get in the ring, they're caged, they're crying, they're holding up the fucking belt. I won the chance. The hardest thing to do is keep the belt.
You keep the belt, yeah.
That's the hardest thing to do. It's not easy to get the belt. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, you're here, they're here, you're gunning here, you're hungry.
Yep.
Once you get that belt, you got everybody chasing. You got a target on your back.
You hear that, Juliana Pena?
Oh, forget it. that fight's over before it started. Oh, speaking of which, did you see who might fight each other?
Who? Oh, the girls, Rousey and Gina Carano?
I want to see it.
I want to see it, too.
Because let me tell you something, dude.
Rousey and Carano,
I want to see it. I want to see it.
A lot of news lately. I've been seeing it, too.
Listen, because Gina Carano, at the end of the day, she was really the first marketable MMA fighter. She was.
Yeah.
You love Gina Carano.
Well, listen, there were girls back before her. Debbie Pearsall. Like, I can name girls from back in the day. But she was the first, like, good-looking, pretty face that came in. And then, Ronda Rousey and then everyone else. Cyborg was always there, but she wasn't marketable.
Yeah.
She just wasn't. And I love Cyborg. Gina Carano just never got that springboard that she should have got because she wasn't in the UFC.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, so I know. Listen, we love Holloway. We love plus 170. We love 7,200.
That is a travesty of DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, we know what's up here.
I mean, how you give
it's a
this guy
5-round fight.
7,200.
It's a 5-round fight. I think either guy covers.
And I will go against something that I usually never say.
Uh-oh.
You're
gonna say play them both?
You can in this situation.
In cash games?
And, in both, I think a little bit.
Small tournaments.
Yeah, I just listen. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. This is a fight where both of these guys. I never do this. I don't like doing this.
No,
I don't like doing this because at the end of the day, you're going in with a loss. At the end of the day, and I'm not telling you guys if you're doing a single bullet or you're doing three that you're gonna.
But the 50-50s.
No. But I'm saying if you're running 10 lineups and you want to do it with a couple,
yep,
I don't got a problem with it.
Okay.
I don't got a problem with a stack in this fight.
All right, all right, I like it. Izzy Cannonier, to me, I think they're putting a lot of hype behind Cannonier. Whitaker took care of business against him pretty easily. I know he's got a cannon. I get it. I think Izzy wants to come out there and put on a fucking show. I think he wants to prove why he's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the UFC. I think -380 for anybody's crazy, no matter who it is, because he does have a lot of power. Cannonier, he has a lot of power. I don't see it all. I don't see it. I don't see him catching Izzy. Izzy's too calculated. He's too fucking smart. I think he's going to fucking knock this kid out within 3 rounds. And I don't even think it's going to be close. I really, really don't. And I'm not disrespecting Cannonier. He has that power, but I just don't fucking see it, bro. I don't see it.
I'm going to pull your confidence back a little bit with this.
Okay.
All right. So when you look at him, nobody in the middleweight division's really been able to do anything to him, right?
No.
You know, they've had their spots, you know, but then he goes up to 205. And there's weight classes for division. Some people's body weight translates, some people's body weight doesn't.
Jan, the whole thing, I know.
His body weight doesn't translate.
No.
Okay. So Jan, being to me, and this ain't disrespect to him, the average, above average light heavyweight that he is.
Yeah, the overachiever.
Beats him.
Yeah.
But how does he beat him? He beats him by muscling him around, taking him down, holding him down.
Wrestling.
Now, take that. Now you got a guy in Cannonier who
was a big heavyweight.
A natural heavyweight. He came down in weight, a genetic freak.
Kept the size.
Brought his power down with him.
You think that's the path?
So who's to say that this guy isn't going to say, I'm hydrating up after weigh-ins to about 205. And I'm going to be muscled up, and I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to be explosive, and I'm going to tear a same page out of the book that Jan did, and I'm going to fucking smother this guy with fucking power and just brute strength and see if he can get out of it with me as well.
I think he knows that.
So that's, but I'm just saying, that is a realistic scenario, right? This is a guy who's
That's why I shouldn't be minus 380.
No. He's a genetic freak, dude.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
I mean, you guys, you don't understand how hard it is to do what he did. Because usually when you go from where he was and you come down, you're frail. Rashad Evans, remember, he couldn't find his home. He was like jumping. Like guys look frail. He doesn't look frail. He still looks bricked up. He still looks big. He still looks strong. So this is a fight. I see this as a Ferrari versus a Hummer. I just see that, like, yeah, can Izzy blow a tire out and make a mistake, and then the Hummer just fucking smashes him and the fight's over? Yeah, but at the end of the day, this kid is just a technician. He thinks things before you even understand that they're coming. He sees what you're doing before you're throwing it.
His cage IQ
is off the charts.
Yeah.
And, you know, people out there who don't think, like they say, you know, you got to be a grappler, you got to do this. This kid is so high pedigree in striking that I don't know many, outside of like Anderson Silva, like I don't know many guys that are able to make the reads that he makes.
He's elite.
He's elite. He's without a doubt elite. And he's got good takedown defense, and he's smart. You see him working the takedown, what he was doing with in that video?
Yep.
You know, so like he's going to be ready for this fight. And can Jared Cannonier win? Yeah, but it's basically got to be Israel Adesanya blows out a tire somewhere.
Yeah.
So I got Izzy here. I'm going to say Adesanya KO TKO in the championship rounds, 4th or 5th round.
I like it.
I think I could see maybe not him flatlining him, but I could see the ref stepping in after, you know.
And he wants a finish.
Yeah.
He wants to prove something.
Yeah.
Because they call him boring, and he wants a finish.
And then if Pereira does lose, you know he'll be on the microphone talking shit to him.
Oh yeah.
You know, like now you wanted to come at me and you lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'll be talking. And he don't sound like a dick when he talks either. He's
intelligent.
He's smart. He's at first I didn't like him, but the more I listen to his interviews,
I hated him.
Me too. But then the more I watch the interviews, he's a smart kid.
He's one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah, I like him now too. So anyway, 9,400, 6,800.
That's the thing with Izzy. Izzy's hitting that benchmark right now 1 of 5 times. So he's hitting at 20%. If you're running a 10 lineup system, he's hitting at around 20%.
He's not super high volume.
No, but he's also fighting. He's got to fight cautious here. He can't just come in. So
maybe inside the distance prop, something like that.
Yeah. So I listen. I don't hate it, but I don't love that price.
Yeah. No, I don't love it.
I don't love that price.
Yeah, I don't love it either. Cannonier 6,800. You want to plug one bullet on him?
Absolutely.
That's it.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
All right. We got Thrive plays. All right.
Yeah.
Juan will throw those up on the screen right here. We have our 3 Thrive plays, and if you want the rest, come to the MadLab, We've been crushing Thrive. We got O'Malley over 41.5 significant strikes.
Yeah.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the gimme. We got Munhoz over
5. Munhoz over 0.5 knockdowns or takedowns. I think he gets
takedowns.
I think he gets one out down once.
At least one takedown.
I think he does. And then we got Holloway over 125.5.
Why would that hit? He only hit 700 strikes two fights ago and 250.
Yeah, so
I love those plays.
I think that hits. Yeah,
great play. I gotta play Thrive. I gotta play every fucking week.
The weakest one on these 3 is the Munhoz one, because I can see a situation where he doesn't take him down.
He's gonna get at least one takedown.
You know, but I think he's gonna test him there. So, but the O'Malley over 41.5.
Yep.
Come on.
All right. Now we have our Showdown's Dog of the Week.
Did she? I do know what it is actually.
You know what it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put it on. Well, then tell me then.
I think
know.
it's Strickland,
Sean
right?
Strickland.
Yeah,
Yes, I love it. Showdown.
Yo, you should have seen her last night, dude. I'm calling you out, Christine. I don't care. She calls me up and she's like, Mike, she goes, can I ask you a question? I go, what? She goes, can I pick a dog that's a dog on DraftKings but not in Vegas? I go, no.
Yeah, because sometimes it's flip-flop.
Yeah, I go, no.
That's funny.
She's like, damn.
I like to play, Christine.
Yeah,
Good
great.
job,
Yeah,
Showdown.
we're on the same page this week.
We're on the same page. We're all on the same page, all right? Anyway, you know where to find us, the MadLabMMA.com. We're doing that promo with the DK contest. You can win a Sean O'Malley signed 8x10. It's really fucking dope. You'll see it on the screen right now. Listen, we got 8 straight weeks of fights coming up starting this Saturday. It's not going to stop. All the fight nights are awesome, too.
Sports are done pretty much.
You got Fiziev RDA. You got Marlon Vera Cruz. You got Aspinall Blades. You got, they're awesome.
Guys, you got baseball left. You got no hockey. You got no football. You got no basketball.
It's UFC time, baby.
We have a crazy Discord. We have full content, DraftKings, wagers. We do contests for merchandise and shit every week. Great community. I mean, you guys are nuts if you don't get in. You're not going to get more content anywhere.
And have more fun. All right, we love you. See you Saturday night.
Before we end,
what?
Adrian Peterson.
I saw it.
Come on, man.
I saw that.
That deserves a come on, man.
Come on, man.
Adrian Peterson's fighting Le'Veon Bell.
Did you know Le'Veon Bell's only 30 years old? You know, if Le'Veon Bell would have never held out and would have stayed on Pittsburgh, he'd still fucking be there and be a top producing running back. Fucking guy, bro. What a stupid mistake he fucking made and ruined his whole career.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're fighting. I can't fucking.
Well, look, Frank Gore, dude.
What is he's on like a 3-fight win streak.
Yeah, dude. I always said when he
Frank Gore is?
Yeah, dude.
He lost to Darren Williams and then he
started knocking dudes out.
Yeah.
He lost from the Nets, right? Darren Williams.
Yep.
And did you see Tommy Fury?
Tommy Fury, Jake Paul.
No.
Tommy Fury's fighting Jake Paul. So he comes. Tyson Fury comes out and says, "I got $100,000 bet."
No, $1 million.
No, at first it was $100,000.
Oh, it was.
And Jake Paul comes out and goes, "Bro, you just made $40 million. What's $100,000? You got no confidence in your brother?"
Oh, really?
He goes, "What?" He goes, "I know I made more than you in my last fight." He's like, let's make it a cool $1 million or $2 million or $3 million. He's like, hit me up. So Tyson Fury came back and goes, you're on $1 million. And he goes, I don't want crypto. I don't want Dogecoin.
And he said, I want it in escrow.
I want it in escrow.
I want it in escrow. Did they agree to it?
They agreed to it, but I don't think Tyson can't be there. His father can't be there. I think there was visa issues, but yeah, the fight's gonna happen.
Tommy Fury's favored.
Listen, man. Nah, dude.
He winning you over.
I ain't talking, dude.
He winning you over.
We'll talk about that another time.
All right, see you soon.